and I was backstage. Shout out to my coach again because he be getting all this footage for me and he's like, okay, you're gonna have this for later, you can post it for later. I'm like, you're proactively thinking because I'm not thinking during any of these moments. He's like, pose. I'm listening to music in my ears backstage and I'm dancing. If I'm not listening to the DJ, I have a headphone in and I'm dancing and I'm prosing and practicing backstage.
Yeah. Well, you so you have an amazing body. I would tell you that.
Thank you.
It's just it's no man. I'm a Southern gentleman. We tell where a lady is very appealing. We let you know. That's just us. That's how we work.
I
You know, you
appreciate
you
that.
you should be here long enough to know that. But yeah, I mean, I Sean actually he saw because I follow him on social media. He follows me. And he saw that I was doing an interview. He said, "Yeah, you're gonna tell her she's a great girl." He said, "You're
Oh,
really gonna enjoy your interview with her." And I really appreciate that when I get, especially I get feedback from people like, there's I one while back I did a little live stream commentary with. If you ever heard of them, the Female Bodybuilding Channel that's run by AJ and JB over there. I was part of that.
mm,
Me, a friend of mine, his name David Bryant. Also, we had Chelsea Dion and Asher Hadley. It was a great opportunity. We were talking about a show. That was back in 2022. Here we got here comment from a man KL. He says, "You would look good, buff or
I am.
not. Too much, Where she just did it, guys. She did a little
I am.
flex for
I'm
y'all.
totally buzzed. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, see, you gotta think about it. You're more than a little tiny little buff, but you just flex for the guys. So they like that. But they used to see like anytime we have like one of the physique competitors or female bodybuilders, they always say, George, ask them to flex. I'm not gonna ask them about the flexing guy because they
Ask them
they
to
do a lot of
flex.
posing. Yeah, because they want to say, I have one guy, he guy come in and says, or any other guy say, hey, ask him to flex, ask him to flex. I'm not asking nobody to flex. But if you
Ask
voluntarily
them
do it
to
yourself,
flex. That's what we all
yeah.
want to see. We always want to see the muscles. We want to
No,
see them
yes,
work,
I
the
understand,
bulge.
understand. I understand. But you know what? They do enough posing and flexing. I don't
True.
want to ask because that's enough of it. If you do it voluntarily, because I had one lady, her name was Maria. She did a whole flexing session on here, and that was great.
That's
I didn't have to
cool.
ask her. Yeah, she did it because she's a great lady. She's very amazing lady. She's from Canada. She was a figure competitor, but now she does physique for the last couple of years. So now, now since you made your pro debut last year, what's the plan for 2025?
The plan is definitely to get back out there. I'm currently in my prep. I have some work to do still. I've been, the way that I live my life on a day to day, it looks no different than in and out of prep. Of course, I don't keep my body super stage ready lean, but I stay lean enough to where if it's time for me to hop into a 6 to 8 week prep, then I should be easily able to kind of transition in because this has become a lifestyle. This is just how I eat on a regular basis. I pay attention to what I'm putting into my body. I take care of my body work and do the things that I need to before and after working out. I take my supplements and make sure I'm getting my vitamins. I check my vitals. I do in-body scans regularly. So because I have decided to go in the direction of making this more of like my focus in life and something that I want to fully apply myself, develop my skills, and then figure out how I can give back to the community, I am taking this seriously, way more seriously than I was when I first started. I was just kind of having fun and figuring out like where I fit in. Now I know what I have and what I'm called to do. And I have so many other things that I'm called to do along with it within the fitness industry altogether. So I've shifted gears. That's why I'm back home in North Carolina. I mean, sometimes it takes a bit of groundness that you have to go back home and ground yourself on the soil, in the grass, and the earth. And that's what I'm doing. So this year, that's what I've been planning on doing for the majority of the beginning of the year. I had some shows in mind, and I've been kind of like throwing those ideas out there to my coach. He let me know today that he's not on board with some of them, and some of them he is. So I don't really have any timelines, really. I just kind of like sit back. We do my check-ins regularly. I talk to him regularly, and we kind of see what's forming, where I need more improvements, where my weaknesses are, where are my strengths, and we're gonna kind of go from there. So we play things by ear, and I take my time. The stage is always going to be there. But for the most part, I'm finding other ways to be involved and more than just going on stage. So, like doing the posing clinics. There's going to be the Charlotte posing clinic coming up in end of uh, towards the end of March, and I'll be there for that. And I'll volunteer and work with Mr. Mike. Mike is amazing with Unchained Physiques. Shout out to them. And see where I can give back to the community, where I can learn as well. There are going to be other pros, bikini pros, pros from men's physique, pros of bodybuilding. I want to learn. as much as I can, more than just bikini, more than just wellness in the women's divisions. I want to learn about the men and how they get ready and their mental spaces. So that's really what my focus is right now, is just finding opportunities to grow within the community and develop more relationships. And then you will catch me on stage when my body's right.
Yeah, like ladies tell me, this is not bodybuilding is not like a race; it's a marathon. It's about taking time to rest, recover, to figure out where you want to go. Some ladies might take a year or two off, especially after they turn pro, because they want to grow. And that's the difference between like with you bikini, you don't need to grow too much because you
Right.
don't want to have the round cap delts and shoulders. You don't want to have too much gyration in the glutes. You want a nice, nice line. But like I said, you look at division now. That's why they bring the fit model division because the girls in bikini are still getting the abs, the crazy delts, and everything like
Yeah.
that. It's just this. Like here's the thing. I said that it's just the criteria needs to be stuck to when you set this criteria for these divisions. You need to stick to them. If you go to shows and you see women who look more like they should be in physique, but they're doing figure. And you see physique competitors that look like they should be doing is bodybuilding. Either here's the choices: either you pull back or you move up. That's the better thing for you to do. But I think often ladies will say, I don't want to do that because I don't want to lose my femininity. I like my high heels or something like that. But yeah, it's just about the evolution of any athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be a lot harder to downsize than it would to build up, because then that means you just have to take all that time off, or you just have less working out, which all of us are there because we enjoy going to the gym. We find some love and joy in building our bodies up. So just for me, it's been tough, shifting gears from working out 6 days a week to just three and only doing cardio. But like I said, it's something that I really want and I desire and I love. So I'm going to make the sacrifices where necessary. But, over time, I just do hope that I can pick back up something.
Yeah. So as you say again, you were working in federal government. What were you doing during that time?
So, when I first moved to DC, I started out in Congress. So, I was a legislative aide for a member of Congress from Louisiana. And then I worked as a political appointee for the White House in the Biden Harris administration at the Department of Homeland Security
Yeah.
at CISA, which is the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. I was a political appointee, so I was there placed by the Biden Harris administration to change kind of the environment. Give more, opportunity to people who look like us, yeah, I did that for about a year. It was only so short lived because they were only in there for 4 years, and after that's up, my political appointmentship is up. Then I switched gears and went to corporate lobbying. So I worked at a lobbying firm as a pretty much like working with the federal government, doing the same thing that you would do within the government, but for companies, for corporations, representing them to Congress.
Yeah, I know a physique competitor name is Jessica Philborn. She also, before she got into bodybuilding really seriously, she was also a lobbyist. And politics is kind of strange, being from politics to bodybuilding. Also, while I was doing some research, I found this picture with a great lady, the late Shirley
Yes.
Jackson. Congresswoman from California. Rest in peace
Rest in
to her.
peace. Rest
I
in peace.
mean, she was a great lady, strong woman.
She was.
Uh, yeah, like I say, I don't talk too much about politics, but I'm like this. Right now, we're in a shithole. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
honestly, and it's sad that people don't understand that you don't put a fool in a position of a king, and I know a lot of bodybuilders out here who, oh, they're so excited, they were so happy, but here's like this. Now your gas price is going up. Cost of eggs is going up. This is going up. Now what you're gonna get? It's about the immigrants. Listen, this is me. My family was sharecroppers. We did the work for years. My great grandfather was a slave. We built this country. You get mad because people come over here and do the work that we didn't want to do, and you still owe us pay. Just as a yeah, that's how I feel about it. But we're just let's leave that there and just go okay. But this is something actually, ladies, especially that all that time prepping and dieting and that and this and that. And tell me, China, what is that thing that often calls your name? That thing you desire? That thing that makes you stranger?
You mean like foods? Oh, That's a tough one because there's so many. I like sweets. I love
Ooh, yeah.
candy and I love cakes. So I will love a Krispy Kreme donut fresh off the hot. It's got to be hot.
With the red
Uh,
light, you got it.
with the red light on, we stopping. If I see that red light on, we stopping.
Is it
That
is the Krispy Kreme in Fayetteville still open?
absolutely.
Oh, I've been long there a long time. Oh,
Yes.
my brother used
Can't
to live
get
in,
rid of a Krispy Kreme.
yeah, my brother used to live around the corner in King's Court. And one time I was visiting him one day, and then he said he's gonna go get some beer. I said, I said, well, where you going? I said, I'm going up the street get a beer. I said, if you stop by the Krispy Kreme, give me a couple of donuts. I said, he gave me a couple of donuts. We sat there. He drank his beer. I ate my donuts.
I love that. I love Krispy Kreme. I love a donut. I love a lemon pound cake. I love Snickers,
Ooh.
Reese's. I like sweet candies like, Nerds and gummies and Lifesavers. I like candy. It's my issue.
With me, I like sweets. I get to get the donut sticks or cookies or cakes. Sometimes when I go shopping, sometimes if they some places will make their own cakes and stuff like that, it'd be nice. My mom, she used to make, with the holidays, she used to make like 4 layered cakes, like with chocolate and jelly. And I remember one Christmas, she couldn't do much cooking. My mom passed away about 5 years ago. She had gotten the virus. She couldn't cook any
Sorry
much
to hear
anymore like she
that.
used to. That's all right. So I could. She taught me how to cook a cake. The cake was not pretty, but my mother told me, George, they're not pretty, but it does taste good. I was my first and last time cooking a cake. I was so proud when she told me that. But yeah, but
Oh,
I have other desires. Like my favorite is like Chinese food. I just love it. I mean, there's a buffet place over the next. I'm 2 miles from South Carolina. There's a buffet place called over in Dillon, and they have this. It's just one time we and my sister, and my nephew went there. Stopped by. I got to stack that plate up. I didn't eat all in one day. I was tempted to empty it, but I just taken slice up here and ate half of it later and ate half the next day. Because at one point I was almost 500 pounds. I keep telling this story because it's true, and because I took my mom for a long time. And then when I realized that I was really, really, because I had a pacemaker, had it for 10 years. And I need to get myself better shape. So I made a choice and started changing my life because right now I didn't have anybody to take care of but myself. But doing this content helped me while taking care of my mom, talking about you ladies and then doing interviews. And I learned stuff when I had these conversations, I get to learn what really inspires you, what motivates you to compete as a bodybuilder.
yeah, what's motivating me is really just that I've been born a person to be like a public servant is what it is. For me, I went to DC thinking that I was going to be able to give back in that capacity, which I was, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity. I was able to communicate with people on the ground. It just wasn't fulfilling me. It wasn't giving me anything that, I can see what I'm giving back to everyone else. I don't see it amounting to anything. It was just either written on paper or an email back and forth and an email exchange. And that's not to say that what the people in DC are doing it's not working. It just takes more time. And I guess I just wasn't feeling, like I was actually applying myself in a way that over time I would see the effects of what I was putting in. So with bodybuilding and when I started it, I realized like not only that I had to take a step back and stop looking at everything else that I was doing for others, but also looking within. I don't think I was caring about myself enough. I don't think I was loving on myself enough. I think I was putting all these other things and priorities and responsibilities on myself that I thought others needed from me versus focusing in on me. So it finally just gave me a mirror to look into, and I finally looked in the mirror, not like the posing mirror and looking at my posing and moving around and how great I look on the outside, but I actually had to take a moment, take a step back and look within, and I wasn't liking what I was seeing. So I decided, it's probably time for me to shift gears. I mean, it happened abruptly. It wasn't like I just decided weeks in advance that I was going to switch gears and focus solely on fitness, which that's what I'm doing. It just kind of happened out of thin air. And that's how I knew I was making the right decision because it wasn't something that I had to sit and ponder on. It just happened within seconds. And like the blink of an eye, I just knew and felt in my heart that this is what I needed. Um, so I took some time to develop myself internally, heal myself, kind of move on from things that happened to me in the past, and become better. I wanted to be better, so I strove to get to that point, and I finally feel like I'm on the right track in terms of that. And I know it's a lifelong process to kind of change and be better and to be conscious and be awake. You got to be intentional about everything you do. And I don't think I was moving with intention. But now I feel like, okay, I have a plan. I know that purpose has always been in me, but I see my purpose. I see where I can be an asset to society. I know what I bring to the table. I know that what I have and what I touch, I can make into gold. It's just, believing in myself and, you know, caring more about others than myself is one thing. I still have to care about myself. So it gives me a good balance being in this environment, doing what I'm doing here. It's like my purpose is clear. I can wake up in the morning and be happy. My life may not look the exact same as it did while I was in politics, but now being on this side and seeing that I can be hands on, that's what I needed. And I realize that now. So that's really what's inspiring me is that not only have I been able to shift gears and kind of change my trajectory for my future and start up something new, something that I'm passionate about, that I love, I'm taking it and making it to something that I can share with other people. So all the blessings that I receive from this and all the things that I'm learning, I'm giving it right back to the people around me, friends, family, people that I'm meeting on the sidewalk, people that I'm meeting in the gym, lifestyle people, and we can develop something together. We can find ways for what I've learned to help them, and then we can form it based on what's going to work in their lives, and they can benefit from the things that I've learned. No more gatekeeping, because I had this whole like wall up, and I was tunnel vision only on certain things, and I was not taking off the blinders. I'm inspired by just how the people in this environment show up. The way that everyone's willing to teach each other something, the way that we are all striving to be better and ourselves to be the best versions of ourselves, that really sits with me in a way that I don't think anything I learned in school has been, I couldn't really apply anything really other than, the book stuff and the work in the politics or whatever. But I think I'm finally seeing real people be transparent and true, really show their vulnerabilities, their weaknesses, but also present their strengths in a way that's like they're superheroes. And I love it. So I think that's what inspires me the most here. That was long winded.
No, it's not, you're not the first one who can who speak that long with one breath. I can't do it much like I used to. But yeah, this is I would say this bodybuilding is a sport that you have to have a passion for. You have to love what you're doing. You have to understand the process. Most people, like I said again, they look at it because it's a very fringe sport. If you look now, your division probably it gets more attention because you have that certain look, very feminine, great lines. As you know, most of my focus on women in bodybuilding physique because they often are the ones who often get more of the ostracization by society because they're wearing building muscle, and most people are not comfortable with it. You have guys making comments about being manly, but even I have heard that even pick on you bikini girls. They say you're getting muscles, you get a man. But here you go. This is a very beautiful woman, guys. I don't know what do you see manly about her? Get some muscles.
Right.
And this is why I say this: muscles does not equate to being a man. I'm like I said again, I've lived nearly half a century. And it took me time to be a man, to walk, to turn, to learn to walk, to work, and to do what I had to do. Like one point, I was holding two jobs, when I was younger, and then now I'm not doing anything but taking care of myself. It's a process, and it's also about time to grow and develop. It's not about how your muscles are built. That doesn't make you man. There's guys who are about my age and still act like they're teenagers. My younger brother, for example, for that. But you know what? I like I said again, even though I'm not too much of a division, I do respect what y'all competitors do. I respect your motivation, your determination, your consistency, and your discipline. Like any athlete, you have to be disciplined in sport.
I totally agree. And thank you for that. I appreciate you seeing us, even though it's not your, obviously, it's not your favorite division. Okay. We get it. But it's still all love. And I appreciate that because you're right. It does take a level of like discipline, especially because our frames and the body fat percentage that we have on a regular is much less. If we want to be competitive, we have to keep it low. And that means if I want a Rice Krispie today, I can only eat but so much of it before it starts showing up on my body. And it's just like that. Like the way that my body can alter overnight, it it has fluctuated so much and it changes so quickly, and I have to be able to keep up with that. And I want to be competitive. I want to be a winner in this. I already am a winner, but I want to get to where I need to be, and I have to stay on track. And like I said, I love candy and stuff. And if I have too much of maybe just even a handful of little something, it appears on my body in a day or so, and you can easily be discouraged, but mind over everything else. You got to have control over your mind, you know.
Yeah, yeah. The quick question: what we do for a Klondike bar?
Oh,
The
you're
question.
funny. And I
Yeah,
actually do like them. A lot of people don't like Klondike bars.
yeah. I like Nutty Buddies better.
Mm.
The chocolate nuts. Paws, as the guys like to say. But I like But yeah, but like I said, doing this process, doing this content, and talking to ladies like yourself, who and this I keep saying it's about, especially for the women, even y'all ladies. There's more of a expense. I had a debate when ladies said that, oh, it costs a man just as more, but just talk about food. But then those guys all they gotta do like men's open, classic 212, and also men's physique. All you gotta wear a pair of banana hammocks and board shorts. That's it. You ladies, you other than just the stuff like kind of your coaching, going to the shows, your tanning, your suits, you wear hair, makeup, high heels. It costs y'all a lot more. You might offset it because the men eat more, but then it takes more to present a woman. Like ladies, like I said, one of my jobs, I worked in a strip club. The girls had to come out. They needed a nice outfits, design, and get the attention of the customers to make their money. And if bodybuilding was more like a mainstream sport where you can make a living off of it, where you won't have to do a job. A lot of competitors, they work in the fitness industry, to make their money. If they have a good job where it can help pay for the cost and everything like that, this is a hobby sport that when you get into it, you have to sit down and say, let me calculate with this. I got to make sure I can pay my rent. Got to make sure I pay my coach. Got to make sure I get enough food for the week. So my prep. There's so much involved in it that you have to sit down and you have to be pretty much a mad scientist with math.
Literally, not including that you didn't mention the supplements and the vitamins, all of the greens and fruits and all those things, the makeup, the hair. If you do that, I do my own makeup and hair now because I've been practicing since I was a kid. But, I do calculate all those things. I do like to get new suits, even though everyone's like, you're not supposed to get a new suit every time you get on stage, and I get that. But I like a new suit. I like a new color. I want to see a different look. So yeah, it does require a lot of budgeting, and it's helpful to do it in advance and prepare and all those things. But our suits are very expensive and they're worth it. They're pieces of art that are made by hand, and so I get it. But it is definitely something you have to budget for. So take that into account now, much more than I did before.
Yeah. And I think also it's good that you have support, like your mother and you have mother and brothers and sisters, anything or
Yeah, I have my mom. Shout out, I'm literally just visiting her right now too. And then I have my older brother Robert, shout out to Rob, and my two younger brothers Pedro and Cassius. And I'm the middle child. I'm the only girl, so queen of the
oh,
house.
I'm technically, like I said, my father had a son before he married my mother. I have three older sisters, where I have two now because one of them passed away. I had an older brother. I have a younger brother and younger sister. Actually, my father, after he left my mother, even though they were still legally married for 55 years, but he lived in New Jersey. We still in North Carolina. But but yeah, I'm kind of the middle of it. And here's the thing is, the firstborn, that's father's favorite because that's his first child. The baby is mother's. That's the last one. Us middles, we have to fight for our love. We have to fight because
Hmm.
we. I used to sometimes used to joke my mom. Sometimes we was like some days we say, "Mom, ain't I a man, Mama? Ain't I a man?" I said, "Nah, you're my baby." I said, "I'm a man, Mama." But
The
that was
boys
my mom
always
was
get babied by the moms, especially out here. The moms baby the sons. That is why I'm technically the oldest child, even though my older brother, he's there. But I changed his diapers. Don't tell him I said that.
yeah
And I well, I'm being the middle child. I will say my other brother, who's the middle child, I don't know. We kind of like clash a bit sometimes. We just have the same brain, but not at the same time. I think the middle children are the best. I mean, we're more ambitious. We've had a little taste of it all, being right there in the middle. Sometimes we get left out. Sometimes we're brought in. I don't know. I like it. Best
yeah.
of both worlds.
Yeah, that's sometimes I for good while I was the youngest, and my brother came along, and then and it's just that's how it is sometimes, especially during families. And I think about what go about the family thing, because some people, just family members and friends, don't understand what it is about bodybuilding, what inspires you, and what gets you into it. And especially when you go to the shows, we who go to the shows, we see competitors up on stage. We understand the what you had to go through to get there, the dieting, the training. Sometimes you have to, like I said, you got to bring your, especially for women, you have to bring your body fat very low. And women, you have a natural BMI compared to men. Men, we can drop weight fast. Women, you, because you have hips and thighs, everything else. You bear children because you need that for nursing. But people don't understand what it takes you to get there.
Right.
And just the dieting. We see this presentation, these beautiful bodies, ripped, shredded, all tan, oiled up. But understand that they're upstairs, on this stage, you're tired, you're dehydrated, you're hangry, you know, and we just don't understand that. And then also you got to think about it. If you got brothers, and they go to the shows, and then you got a guy that says, "Who's that? Pretty little yellow thing up there in the bikini?" Yeah, yeah. Hey, that's my sister. Yeah, it's my
Yeah, I
sister.
actually haven't had any family come to my shows yet because when I first started out, I knew it was a big deal, but I needed to focus. Like first of all, I was traveling all over, so it's not like they can just pick up and just travel wherever I was going.
Mhm.
But I hadn't invited anyone to come in person yet for those reasons to just kind of stay like, locked in for me. And I was also trying to figure out like, is this for me? Am I doing this for me? Or am I doing this for everybody else? And I kept some things for myself. But now that I'm getting to where I want to be, I'm finding my like groove here. I'll definitely be inviting them to the next couple, but I don't know. They always join from the live stream and then they'll send me videos and stuff halfway through. I like it better that way because I can
Yeah,
stay focused
yeah.
until I
Your
go to
mom,
the O. When I go to the O, everybody better show up.
yeah, your mom said, "That's my baby up there. That's my baby." And I know almost any parent's proud. I've talked to ladies sometimes. Their parents don't understand it. Even they may not want to talk about it, but then every now and then they eventually say, "You know what? This is what you want to do. This is your life. This is who you want to be." And even though I might not understand it or might not like it, but I support you, and that's a good thing. We have that because I have ladies told me that they lost friendships, family members that just don't get around with them anymore because you're changing yourself. You're changing because this sport is very extreme. It's so much farther. Like like when you have like you go to holiday events or family functions, you have to bring your own food because you can't eat like especially if you're still in North Carolina. We got the best barbecue in anywhere, and somebody's heating up pork and stuff like that, and you got good old sweet potato pie and everything out there, but you can't eat that. You have to
Mm,
bring your own Tupperware, and
I
it'll
do.
be yeah, like it'd be like maybe asparagus and chicken or beef and broccoli and wait a minute, we just lost her. Give her a minute, she might come back. Hello, China. Wait a minute, give a second. I think we have a little connection issue. So, folks, we give China a bit time. I think something happened. There, wait a minute. She's coming back. So, why here, folks? We just you talk to me for a little bit until we get back. But that's the thing about people understand. There's so much involved for these competitors. Can you hear me? Hello. I think we might have some technical difficulties, folks. It happens like that. But we'll give her a few more minutes. Or not, we'll probably end the interview and maybe just get back to it later. We might do a part two if she ever feel like it. But yeah, doing this content and talking to these ladies, guys, you have to respect their passion for the sport, the time to put into it. We lost her. She might pop back up. Wait a minute. There she is.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. It just kind of disappeared there.
Yeah, it happens sometimes, it happens. But yeah, it's good that you have your mother, your brother support you. And are you sponsored?
Oh, yeah, man, I'm glad that you asked. I'm sponsored by Clinical Labs. They're my supplement company. Great supplements. They're research based. They're natural. They work wonders. I use their glucose disposal agent quite a bit. That's my everyday. Their cortisol control is definitely one that I love a lot. I love their pump enhancer and I love their thermogenic high fat burner. Use those when I work out. I don't try to combine too many things, but they're combinable supplements. Love them. Clinical Labs supplements. Check them out. Use my code for the discount. Find China, FINECHYNA. So far, that's all I got. However, I am out here, mingling and networking and doing my thing. I've worn Toxic Angel bikinis, love them. I've had two bikinis from them. And then I have Mandarin luxury bikinis. Miss Sarah, she's amazing. She's small business out of California as well. Beautiful bikini that I wore in Union City. That was my emerald green. She's great. I love her. I've been working really close with all of them. I